Tim and Jenna, if you have a business idea or something that you'd like to start up, this is definitely the place to be. There are 43 different groups who brought their ideas today. Each of those groups presented something on the wall. From there on, people can tell us what they think about it, what their feedback is. And from then on, they'll fill out this card right here. It lists the 5 most favorite ideas that were presented here today. Later on, that list will be narrowed down and 5 winners will be selected right here. And I'm with Becca Photo. She is the co-chair of Innovation Market. Becca, tell us more about today's event. Jenna and Tim, the keynote speaker tonight is Andy Stoll, and I gotta say, he's quite the celebrity here, especially amongst all of these young entrepreneurs. A lot of these same people hope to be like him one day. Sheldon is going to be the place to be tonight and tomorrow. I'm actually standing right in front of the stage where all the bands are going to be performing. There's quite a lineup. Actually, every 30 minutes, a different band member is going to play. Thanks, guys. Now, let's face it. Whenever you think of the term casino, you automatically think of what? Slot machines. Even with the numbers, doctors say the best medicine is to get your child to exercise at an early age. These blades are a vital component when constructing a turbine. They are about 120 feet long and can go as up to 10 feet high. Clients of the Ponca Express like the Ponca Express because it helps them with their everyday routines. Many people who are coming here to shoot aren't shooting the fake targets they're supposed to. Instead, they're shooting backwards into the station. Since it was a very cold night on the night the fire started, Brad decided to light some wood in the wood burner right behind me. He said that's very likely how the fire started. On 32nd and Nebraska Street, water has been leaking onto the road for just about a week now, and residents of the neighborhood say when this has happened in the past, it affects more than just the water they drink. It affects their daily routine. The Stub Gray shooting range near Correctionville opened in 2002 for the public to enjoy, but now its future is in jeopardy. The range is littered with capsules, spent casings, and broken targets. Woodbury County officials are calling it an act of vandalism.
It's just wrong. It's wrong for the taxpayers and it's wrong for the recreationists of this county.
After the recent chain of events, officials were left with one last resort.
The next best thing we could do was to get people's attention. We're shutting it down.
Rick Schneider has worked with Woodbury County for years. He says there aren't many public ranges available for gun enthusiasts. When this range was opened, rules and regulations were put in place, but eventually people just stopped following them.
You can see up there, they just shoot at rocks or bring a concrete block in and shoot those all up. Real safety hazard for them. They obviously don't understand the ricochets that can occur and badly injure themselves or somebody else.
Many people who are coming here to shoot aren't shooting the fake targets they're supposed to. Instead, they're shooting backwards into the station.
But as this continues, it ruins the integrity of the wall, and a wall piece would have to be cut out and repatched in there.
And on top of all that, not everyone is cleaning up after themselves.
There's a lot of illegal targets that are used on the ground. We only allow the paper targets in here. People aren't picking up after themselves. They're supposed to pick up their spent shells, and that stuff is all over the place.
The county does have an idea of who's behind the recent damage, but until a plan of action is put into place, this public gun range is off limits. Near Correctionville, Iowa, Mo Hyder, ABC 9 News. Water main breaks aren't a new issue to Sioux City, but the city might have a solution to help this problem for the future. Workers have been at this for 2 days. Water lines have been busting weekly in Sioux City, and the price to fix one isn't exactly cheap.
Normally is in about the $3,000 to $4,000 range this time of year, but it can be up in the $5,000 or $6,000 range if it's really bad.
Since many homeowners have to pay for these water main breaks out of their own pocket, city officials are discussing a city finance insurance program to cover some of those costs.
It would be beneficial for everybody in the community to have it because then you wouldn't have the situation where nobody wants to contribute until the point where there's a problem.
In Sioux City, the homeowner is responsible for where the line connects from their home to the center of the street. Wheeler Johnson's water main broke a week ago, and he's just now getting the help he needs.
Well, the hardest thing for us is that we buy our water, drinking water anyway, so we weren't worried about the drinking water. It's just the bathrooms. You know, we had to have water to flush our toilets.
Right now, the city is looking at different options for waterline insurance. One option is to increase utility bills, and another is for the city to start a contract with the insurance company. Even though you can't prevent your water line from breaking, local contractors say you can always prepare ahead of time.
You can be proactive and you can say, hey, I know that my water line is very, very old, and plan on doing something like this in the summer where there would be a substantial savings.
Right now, everything is still in the works. City officials will meet in a couple of weeks to iron out the details. In Sioux City, Mo Hyder, ABC 9 News. Choosing a career path wasn't a big deal for TJ Fredrickson. He's known what he's wanted to do for years.
Always liked cars growing up, and got my first car when I turned 16, and it had a lot of problems. Started working on it, started learning about them. I took an auto mechanics class my senior year and really enjoyed it.
That's when TJ was faced with a major challenge. He underwent back surgery that left his blood pressure too low for too long. That killed his optic nerve, leaving him blind.
So I just decided I needed to do something and sit around doing nothing.
TJ decided to enroll in the auto mechanics program at Western Iowa Tech, where he met someone who believed in him, his teacher, Shane Connolly.
We knew that TJ had a real strong reference from his high school classmates as far as being a leader and a top tech in his high school automotive program.
Connolly never let TJ feel left out. Sometimes he'd have the entire class shut their own eyes to do their work. But it's the other students, Connolly says, who really helped TJ out.
I'd grab his hand and be like, okay, TJ, here's the bolt that we're taking off, or here's the wire harness that we're taking apart.
Even though TJ can't see his classmates, they always kept him in their sight. As a present for the last day of class, TJ got to ride on a bike his classmates worked on. Although he can't use his sense of sight, he used his sense of touch and imagination to help him in his journey of becoming a mechanic. In Sioux City, Mo Hyder, ABC 9 News. This house burnt down last Monday, and there's still some smoke left from the fire.
We went off to water the calves over here by the park. I got a few calves, and then within about 10 to 15 minutes, a neighbor lady, Crystal Appleton, come over, and Brandon come over and hollering at me saying that your house is on fire.
When Brad heard his house was on fire, he ran back to his home and tried to salvage what he could, but it was too late.
It was the first house ever built in Rosalie. First house ever built, and it's documented, and I had pictures of it in the house and everything, and yeah, a lot of memories in it.
One of those memories is his gun collection. And he doesn't have insurance on the house or the guns, so he has to say goodbye to both.
And he had a lot of pictures in there, a lot of cool stuff. Just stuff that you can't replace, really.
Since it was a very cold night on the night the fire started, Brad decided to light some wood in the wood burner right behind me. He said that's very likely how the fire started. Brad's nephew Derek was also there on the night of the fire. He was on his way from Bancroft when he heard the news.
You could see the flame, and that's 6 miles away, and you could see the glow of it.
After losing everything, Brad's close family friends and relatives came to help him clean up on Sunday morning. Right now, he's staying with a relative. Even though the house isn't insured, he has special people that give him hope.
The good Lord above, and close friends and family.
For more information on helping Brad, please visit our website at www.kcautv.com. Reporting in Rosalie, Nebraska, Mo Hyder, ABC 9 News. On 32nd and Nebraska Street, water has been leaking onto the road for just about a week now, and residents of their neighborhood say when this has happened in the past, it affects more than just the water they drink. It affects their daily routine. This may be just a little bit of water, but if it keeps leaking, it won't be good news for residents on this block.
We had no water. I mean, I came home a few weeks ago and no water again for the entire day.
That was because of water main breaks, something that isn't new to Sioux City.
Typically what you see during the wintertime is what's called a shear break. It's a 360 break that actually is a full circle around the pipe, and that's caused because of the ground shifting.
It's a year-round problem. Last year, the city dealt with 158 water main breaks. So far in 2014, there have been 55.
It's pretty tough. You know, it's a little hard to take a shower without the water or brush your teeth or anything else, or especially flush your toilet.
And the problems don't even stop there. Imagine not having enough water to have dinner with your family at nighttime, or even getting your kids ready for school in the morning.
If you have kids, you know, getting the kids to school so they have showers before they go to school, or, you know, doing dishes and, you know, to have dinner or meals and to live.
Many of these are indoor problems, but there is an outdoor problem residents are also concerned about.
Take my kid to Heelan or to school every day, and I don't know if this road's going to fall in.
I mean, it gets slick down there, or they'll have the one end closed so you can't even drive south on the road. You can only go north on the road, so that gets a little frustrating too.
Now, since this neighborhood has experienced water main breaks in the past, all the neighbors did say that they are very confident that the city will get everything fixed very soon and things will go back to normal. For now, reporting in Sioux City, Mo Hyder, ABC 9 News. Love is in the air.
Thank you.
And workers from Hy-Vee Floral are helping to spread it around.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Gee, thanks.
On a day where most people spend time with their loved ones, these people are working behind the scenes to make it all possible.
You'll see everybody just light up because no one knows who it's for until we bring the card and they see it. And it's just exciting to see everybody getting excited when we bring those bouquets through the door.
It all starts in this little warehouse in the back of the Hy-Vee bakery. Workers got in around 4 a.m. to start creating special floral pieces.
You probably make 300 dozen or 400 dozen a year for Valentine's Day. So it's kind of keeps us busy.
The florists get started a week in advance, cutting roses, signing cards, and topping it all off with heart-shaped balloons. When it's all ready, it's all up to Al Met to complete the delivery. Met has always devoted his Valentine's Day to others.
I've worked for Hy-Vee for 30 years, and I've delivered every year. I've taken the day out and go out and enjoy delivering the flowers.
For hours, Met delivered bouquets, determined to get the flowers to their destinations on time.
We loaded the vans and we were out on the road at 7:30 this morning, and we'll go today until every flower is delivered.
All because it's what they love to do. For folks like Rebecca Wright, the Ponca Express service is more than just a way to hitch a ride. It's a necessity.
I got sick this past year and I had to go to Omaha to the doctors several times, and they were always here to help me with that. I probably would have had to catch a ride with my parents if this service wasn't here.
The transportation service has been around since 2008, but there was never a proper facility for folks in Norfolk until last month. With funding from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the center is now up and running. And it's not only convenient for folks like Rebecca. Clients of the Ponca Express like the Ponca Express because it helps them with their everyday routines.
If you need anything, if you live in Wayne and you need to get to Norfolk because you need to get some meds, or you do need to go to Hy-Vee and pick up some milk and eggs, we can provide that transportation for you.
The major advantage of the Norfolk location is to help folks in smaller communities get to their destinations. With long commutes, they can buckle up and enjoy the ride. Riders also get a bang for their buck. It's only $5 a drive.
People that don't have vehicles or a lot of money to take a cab, we're here.
While it's hard to find someone to help them run an errand out of their way, folks in Norfolk can always take solace in knowing there's that one friend they can always get a ride from. In Norfolk, Nebraska, Mo Hyder, ABC 9.